Good morning, everybody. Or is it afternoon where you are, or maybe it's early morning where you are? That's one thing I love about the vinyl community. People are from all over. I just did a live stream. I deleted it because it was almost an hour long, and I was trying to explain my point of view on a couple of things that the words just did not come out the way I wanted them to. And I did not want to give people the wrong impression of how I feel about things. So anyway, so I needed to delete that. But the most important part of the stream was I showed off a really cool, kind of a quirky, strange, very particular record collection of mine. So I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to tell you guys, I have some guests coming up this week. I have a guest this afternoon. I'm going to have a guest tomorrow morning and a guest tomorrow night. Night streams are not going to be a regular thing. I'm usually very pooped by the end of the day. I have some medical stuff I'm going through that some of you know about. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want that to be the subject of this video. But so I'll just tell you, by the end of the day, I'm pooped. And but I'm making a very special exception because I'm so excited about this guest. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be interviewing, more or less just having a chat with Burke Thomas, who is a drummer. He is the drummer for Duff McKagan. He actually... you can see him in the background. He's not really featured, but you can kind of see him in the background of Duff's documentary that is on Amazon right now. I'm trying to remember the name of the documentary. I'm going to pause for just a second and look it up. Okay, the name of the documentary is It's So Easy and Other Lies We Tell Ourselves. And I think it was made for Netflix, but I could have swore I remembered watching it on Amazon Prime. Check both places. I don't know where it's going to be at, but it talks about his road to sobriety. And, I'm not a huge Guns N' Roses fan. My husband is. And so we watched it because he wanted to see it. And Bert can be seen playing drums in the background. And just a real super guy. He has overcome some really serious challenges. I don't want to take away his opportunity to tell his story, but he was involved in a pretty horrific car accident and had to bounce back from that. And one of the things he decided to do is to start a YouTube channel where he interviews all of his drum heroes and just wants to put positive energy out there like me. So we both started our channels for just about the same reasons. I also have overcome some stuff and just want to have positive energy and meet people. And of course, I'm into vinyl records. He's into drumming. And so he has so far interviewed Chris France from Talking Heads. I mean, that's a huge get right there. I mean, I think Chris France put out a book this year called Remain in Love. And so he was able to catch him at just the right time. He needed to promote his book. And of course, he did the interview, and, it was great. It was great. And then he's also interviewed Martin Chambers from Pretenders, which, squee. I mean, I'm a huge Talking Heads fan, but I think I was more excited about Martin Chambers because Martin fucking Chambers, that's why, And then Sandy... Oh, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name right. Gennaro. I think it's Gennaro. Remember that Money Changes Everything from Cyndi Lauper video? It was a live performance. Came out in the 80s. It was on MTV. I remember they used to play it at the top of every hour. Anyway, it was a great video. It had all the trash cans, had the drummer up there. Anyway, he was the drummer for that on that video. He played drums for Cyndi Lauper for a little while, and But anyway, he's interviewed a whole lot of drummers and some bassists too, which is, that's my instrument. So my primary instrument, I should say. And so that was exciting for me. So Burke Thomas, he's going to be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, my best friend since the summer before second grade, Colleen Eckmark, who's an incredible singer. You should check her out on SoundCloud. Colleen Eckmark, Eckmark. Check out her song Lullaby. Her dad passed away when we were 12. Her dad was like a dad to me, too. It was heartbreaking. This song was about a dream that she had about her dad. And then she just woke up and wrote this beautiful, beautiful song. Our other dear friend, Steve-O, was like, Colleen, this is your bridge over troubled water. Which, I'm going to tell you what, if Colleen had already been an established musician, that would be true. As it is, not that many people have heard it, but you should go hear it because it's just gorgeous. And Colleen's a beautiful vocalist. And she has also overcome the same thing. She was in a horrific car accident and had to bounce back from that. So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we're just going to be talking about coming back from something like that, getting over the hump. For Hump Day, getting over the hump. So every Wednesday, I'm going to do a Getting Over the Hump live broadcast. You can come in and ask questions, or if you want, you can even come on screen with us and chat with us. Now, tomorrow night at 8, I probably will not be having anybody else come on screen except for Colleen and Burke, just because that's 3 people is plenty. I don't want it to be crowded. But more than welcome to come and watch and ask questions that they will answer. And, and then of course, I'm going to leave the video up. So that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, I don't know exactly what time yet, but I'll put a placeholder as soon as I find out. Glenn Kellaway from the basement, our VC member up in Canada. Great guy, great record collection. I'm really looking forward to talking to him about music and all kinds of stuff. So he'll be on tomorrow morning. This afternoon, our friend Maca Mania is going to be coming on with me. I don't know exactly what time. So I'll find out and put it up. And Tuesday afternoon is going to be another thing because Tuesday afternoon, Moody Blues, okay? And we're going to be talking about the more blues side of the political spectrum. Now, I am pretty liberal socially, just something to do with the really strange idea that all human beings deserve the exact same rights, okay? There are not supposed to be privileges for certain members of society, but not for others, okay? So I'm a lot more liberal when it comes to social issues, but I have some pretty some fiscally conservative ideas, and so I'm a little more independent. I'm loyal to my principles. I actually just look at the data of, I actually go and look at Congress's minutes, and I see what they voted on. I will even read the bill, okay? Read it, see what they voted on, and how each person voted. Because, politicians, they will say whatever the hell they have to say to build themselves up, to besmirch the other side. They have a vested interest in making the other side look as bad as possible. The only way you have of knowing if that person is on your side is to know exactly how they voted on the issues that you care about. So whatever issues you care about, even if they do not agree with mine, I think everybody should find out and vote your principles and your values, and but also consider how those affect the lives of other people when voting as well, because we're supposed to have each other's back. Government is supposed to be for the people, by the people. It currently is not. And the only way for us to get it back that way is to elect leaders that understand that they represent not only the people that vote for them, but the people who didn't. And that every life in this country has, every person, every citizen of this country has value and has something to contribute. So there's my little rant about that. So, and Macamania is going to be on this afternoon for us to kind of talk about that. Okay, so that's what's coming up this week. And then Friday morning, I will also be here for my chat and coffee at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 9 a.m. coffee and chat. Okay? Starting next week, though, coffee and chat will be on Sunday morning, Wednesday morning, and Friday morning. And then we're going to have Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday chat is going to be about getting over the hump. Okay? Try to have some kind of, this is how I have to cope so that I can plan, my life. Seriously, this is my whole life. Everything has to be organized and otherwise I don't want to talk about my anxiety again. I mean, I know it's important to talk about it, but, you guys don't need for me to mention it every single video. Or I can mention it, but you don't need me to talk about it in depth. You understand. You get it, Especially if you're friends with me here. Probably we have that in common. And so you understand. But anyway, I wanted to show you something of mine. A little quirky, okay? This is about half of what I have. I collect a very specific genre of music, okay? And this is about half of what I have, and I would love to find more, but they're not easy to find. And you know what, though? Before I get into this, let me pause this and get my Calico kitty so you can see her, okay? And just like that, I've got a Calico kitty. I had to take my glasses off because if I don't, she chews them, she takes them off of my face, plays with them. She's very playful for her age. She's about 8 now. This is my Darla, named after the feisty Darla from Little Rascals from our gang. Poor Darla has about 4 teeth in her whole head. When I found her, so let me tell you, Tony and I used to live in East Dayton. That was the house that he had for about 20 years before he and I met. And, I sold my place in North Carolina before I moved here to Ohio. And I was renting a place in Huber Heights. And so when we married, we met in 2011 and married in 2013. I moved in with him into his house in East Dayton, where there was a huge problem with stray cats. And that is how I got involved in cat rescue. There was such a problem that the SICSA, it's a Society for the Improvement of Conditions of Stray Animals, SICSA. They were out of Kettering. I think they've moved to Moraine. But please support them. Please support them. Even if you don't live here, they do so much for stray cats. But they were actually spaying and neutering stray cats that anybody could bring them in for, only $10, and that included a rabies vaccination. So I made it my mission to get as many cats around the neighborhood as I could and take them in just to try to end the cycle of suffering. They were not cats that could be made house pets. They were feral. I had to trap them. So they were what's called TNR, trap, neuter, return, or release. You know, people say either one. But where basically they are used to that area and used to the community and probably have community people looking out for them and feeding them. So you return them back to where they have the best chance of surviving. And but they are, you know, spayed or neutered, so they can't reproduce and, you know, make more cats that are doomed to a life of suffering. So that's what I was doing there when I started seeing this beautiful kitty cat show up on the. She was just a kitten. She was this big. I mean, she was maybe just maybe 6 months old or so. I mean, just, you know, and I just saw her, and you know, I'm colorblind, but her colors were so bright that even I could, you know, see that, oh my gosh, that is the prettiest cat, prettiest calico cat. And I just started, you know, trying to make friends with her. And eventually she decided to trust me, and she was living on our porch. And then finally she let me pet her. Up, she just knocked over my records. I guess she doesn't need to. She's not allowed up on this table. This table isn't sturdy enough. It's, you know, like I said, I'm in the middle of redoing my basement, so I just have a temporary table set up here. It's not a good sturdy table. So she just knocked it. Yeah, all it took was just a little zhuzh, and there it went. Mwah. But anyway, so she finally decided to trust me. And so I got a hold of her, and I decided I was going to keep her. So I did not take her to Sixa to get spayed. I took her to a regular vet, where I found out that all but 4 of her teeth needed to be extracted. So while she was being spayed, they removed a bunch of her teeth. Poor baby. Some of them were baby teeth, and so they, you know, grew back. So she actually does have more than 4 teeth. I always say she has 4 teeth, but she really has about 7, I think. 1, 2. Yeah, she's got about 7 of them. Mwah. Mwah. But I just love this cat dearly. She is my baby. I have 5 personal cats, and I have 3 foster cats. And I did have 4 foster cats, but one of them just got their very own home. And when it's kind of sad because you miss them, but on the other hand, you're just so happy that they got their own family. You know, that's what it's all about. That cat was not a fan of other cats and was kind of a bully for, you know, when it came to other cats. So it was good that he got his own home with his own people. So I gotta put my glasses back on because I cannot see. Hey. Anyway, so that was Darla. So you got to meet Darla and learn her story. So, you know, when I rescued her, there were a whole bunch of tomcats like circling her. When I first saw her, she was about 6 months old. It took until she was probably about 10 months old, 11 months old for me to catch her. And yeah, there were a bunch of toms just circling her. You know, they tend to kind of go together in a pack. Toms do, you know. That's why you have a female cat, you know, get pregnant, and she'll have a litter, and all of the kittens will look different because they're not like people. You know, you get a person pregnant once, that's it, they're pregnant. A cat can actually get, you know, they drop a whole bunch of eggs at one time, and they can get pregnant several times within a certain period, and have a litter of kittens that don't look anything alike. So anyway, so yeah, that's a little tidbit that you probably didn't want to know or needed to know, and now you do. But anyway, so Darla had a whole, you know, pack of toms circling her, and I was like, all right, kitty, I know you don't want to live inside, but I'm sorry, you have to. So I went and grabbed her, and she has treated me like I'm her savior ever since, but she's just a sweetheart. her favorite cat in the house is my foster fail. He's a foster fail because I fell in love with him and kept him, Buzzy. But Buzzy can be a little on the mean side. I want to show you. Can you see my nose? Can you see that? Huh? Oh my, I don't know if you can see it or not. Side of my nose. That asshole, for no reason, I went to pet him. He just went, he's like, I don't feel like being petted right now. I'm like, hey, God, all you had to do was walk away. You didn't have to maim me. Maim. Okay, a little extreme, but okay. So let's see. We covered the interviews this week. We covered my kitty. I'm 20 minutes in. A lot of you guys don't like these long videos. So sorry. I am. Okay, so the albums, prison albums, more specifically. Okay, concerts held at prisons, recorded and pressed to vinyl, and they are not easy to find. I'm going to show you a stack of about 8 of them. I probably have this many more somewhere in my collection, and as I, finish cleaning and sleeving and organizing my records, I'll come across them, and I'll do another video at that time of the other albums in my collection. But right now I'm just going to show you these ones, okay? So, I first found Johnny Cash live at San Quentin, okay? Just because I had heard of live at Folsom Prison, but I had not really heard of, his performance at San Quentin at the time, and of course since then everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's a classic, but I just had not heard it. So I went ahead and bought it, and then I found, of course, the classic, right? This is, the most famous prison record. Johnny Cash live at Folsom Prison. With Folsom Prison Blues. There's like 15 songs on this album, maybe more. It does not, the sound quality is really poor. This probably should have been a double album. It maybe would have sounded better. I'm not an audiophile person, but I have noticed that the more they try to shove on a record, the sound quality isn't that great. Although Johnny Cash's songs are short, usually, and to the point. You ever notice a lot of songs, they used to be a lot shorter and they had a whole lot more to say, Anyway, so I started thinking about, how important it is to the prisoners that somebody cared enough to go perform for them. Of course, Johnny Cash, felt a kinship with them for, his own personal story. I'm sure you can go to his Wikipedia and read all about it if you don't know, but, I just think it's so important that, people, they make very poor choices, they make bad decisions, they sometimes choose the path of least resistance. It seems path of least resistance at the time, until it causes them more problems down the road, and they realize, oh, maybe I should have been, maybe I should have been thinking about the future and not just doing what I feel like doing. But still, they are a person, they're a human being, and I feel like it would behoove us as a society to, make an attempt at rehabilitation and not treating these people, so poorly. Prison is supposed to be to protect society from the person, not to severely punish them, So let them have a little music, Somebody wants to go in and perform for them. I think that's a wonderful thing. And, so that's what attracted me to these prison performances. So then I started looking for more. And of course, the next thing I found was probably the next, one that most people have heard of, if you're a fan of the blues, of course, is B.B. King at live from the Cook County Jail. This is, I love this record, beautiful record. I have 2 of them. Because, I bought one. And then a friend of mine who knew that I was collecting these gave me one as a gift. for my birthday. I'm trying to remember if it was Christmas or my birthday. I think it was my birthday. So that extra BB King will also be a VCLT for somebody who wants it. So now I have two. I found two duplicate albums of mine. That one and Police, Ghost in the Machine, which I showed you yesterday. So, you know, I'm gonna be looking for somebody to give those to. But anyway, so then I found this. Okay, let me pull this out of the sleeve so you can see the kind of neat cover. But here are more prison performances from Johnny Cash and also Linda Ronstadt and Roy Clark. And this was made for... Okay, sorry for the awkward transition here, but my camera cut off and just as I was starting to show you this album. So we're going to go ahead and finish this. Yeah, I was showing you this prison performance from Johnny Cash, Linda Ronstadt, and Roy Clark together. This was a television special sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. See the album? It's not a double album. It's just, you know, one album, but it's kind of a neat jacket. Anyway, so I'm gonna put them back in their sleeves after I finish filming, because it's too hard for me to get them in there. My hands are a little tricky. Okay, we have Sonny James in prison in person with his Tennessee State Prison Band. They have all kinds of pictures on the back, and you know, you just wonder what became of these guys. You know, John Lee Hooker, live at Soledad Prison. I love this album. This is a great album. Has Super Lover, What's the Matter Baby, Lucille, Bang Bang, Bang Bang, Serve Me Right to Suffer, Boogie Everywhere I Go. Great performance. Then we have Southern Prison Blues. It is recorded at Louisiana State Penitentiary in Angola. I don't think it was recorded all in one performance. But anyway, again, has the story on the back. That's my favorite, you know, the ones that give you the whole story. Then we have Friday the 13th at the Cook County Jail. Recorded October 13th, 1972 at 1 p.m. This is a short album. Has 5 songs. And then this is a more spiritual album, which that's not usually my cup of tea. You know, I guess if I had to pick a religion, I would say I subscribe mostly to the philosophies of Buddhism. Cannot call myself a practicing Buddhist, though. I would have to give up a couple of vices for that. But we have this We Gather Together, Tennessee Ernie Ford and the San Quentin Prison Choir, recorded at San Quentin Prison. April 23rd, 1963. Man, great album. So I have another, I have probably about this number more somewhere in my collection. I've been going through all my records, cleaning them, putting them in new sleeves, especially the anti-static inner sleeves. So as I do that, I'm sure that I'm going to find the rest of my prison album collection. It's just so hard to find these on vinyl. You can find performances all over YouTube, but to find them on pressed on vinyl is just not very common. And I'm probably going to start, trying to collect them again. I stopped for a few years. Did I mention this already? I don't know. I had that technical difficulty and it threw me off a little bit. But if I didn't already mention it, I'll just tell you. And if I have, I'm sorry. But I stopped collecting them for about 3 years or so because I was just looking all the time and couldn't find anything new just because they're not widely available. So I decided, I'll take some time off and then maybe I'll, start finding them again. Mostly I find them on eBay. I have found a couple on Amazon for sale through a third party. And of course, I had not yet learned of Discogs when I stopped. So now that I know of Discogs, I'll also be searching Discogs. And so if you guys know of any must-have prison concerts on vinyl, please leave me a comment and tell me so I can look for it. I'm always looking for new stuff to add to my collection. I'm going to put the links to Macamania, Glenn Calloway, and Burke Thomas's Drum Recovery Network channel in the description of this video. I'll also put a link to the website for Sixa, since I mentioned them. They rescue cats. They do a great job. Hang on a second. Sorry, had a little bit of a coughing fit. I'm down here in the basement. I've cleaned a bunch, but it's still a little dusty. And I'm going to try to get Darla for you so she can help me say goodbye. Hey! All right. Mwah. So, from Lisa T and Miss Darla from the basement of Dayton, Ohio. Peace and love to all of you. And thank you so much. The vinyl community has been amazing and supportive. And I love all of you to death. And yeah, we'll catch you later.